Hi everybody, Martyn Flicking Feathers again today, and I'm tying a mini jigged whistler. This is obviously Dan Blanton's whistler, Flashtail whistler, scaled down, right? It's a great smallmouth bass fly. I'm sure it'll work for other species, largemouth bass as well. And I've actually been tying them a bit bigger for catfish. They've been doing quite well for the catfish for me over the last year. But anyway, as always, I'll put a materials list in the description, along with a link to the Patreon page for anyone that wants to support the channel, get access to the monthly fly tying classes, the members only content, and enter the giveaways. You can also subscribe, hit the bell button, like the video, share the video, watch it all the way to the end. Make sure you come and watch the new ones. So I appreciate it, it all helps the channel to grow. So I've got my hook and my vise. This is an Ahrex FW550, size 2. This is about as small as I would go. The pattern starts to struggle a bit if you go here. I mean, you can switch to different hairs and all that to make it work, but it loses something when you go smaller than this, I think. Figurating on some bead chain eyes. These are large and they're obviously brass in this case. You'll see some people tying the jig hook whistlers with dumbbells. You can do that. I prefer to keep, if I want it heavier, I'll put a wee bit of lead right behind the eyes. The bead chain creates sound that dumbbells don't. And I think that is part of the effectiveness of this fly, the sound of the bead chain. And I mean, they swim great. You've got the tail, and then you've got the sort of the bump of the chenille gills and the soft hackle. So you've got a lot of turbulence in the pattern. You've got a wee bit of noise, slight rattle from the bead chain, as well as the turbulence in the eyes. Bulky front, and the tail just really swims. I mean, they're very, very fishy. So I'm just tying this in a colour that I've found to be quite effective. Just a sort of olive over white with a copper flash. Because I'm tying it to the jig hook and I do want it to kind of dive a wee bit, I'm going to make the tail thinner than I would on a sort of conventional hook whistler. So I've got a bunch of this Sibai sparkle here. It's copper, and I'm going to come in, cut the wraps forward just to catch it, fold that back, and then tie over it. And I tie the flash in first on this because I want to just do 2 bucktail ties. Just want to check the length. This is only the second one I'm tying in this batch, so let's cut my tail. Slightly long. I'll come in and knock the ends out later once I've got the bucktail and all that in. Next is a wee bit of bucktail, and I want some, I'm going to take, for this small size, I want some quite fine crinkly bucktail. Take it from the top of the tail, or the tip of the tail. The top of the tail is the animal, standing's actually up at the arse. A bit of white, not too heavy, because obviously the front on this, it's not a great big whistler, so there's not that much bulk to generate the turbulence. So just come in, take away any of the wee short fibres, check for any broken tips, take them away. That's not bad. I'll come in and I'll set my length. I want it just coming about there. Take a loose wrap, 2. See how it's sitting, and I'll just sort of press it down. I want it kind of roughly covering at 50%, you know, at 180 degrees. But I do want this to be clean on the hook gap side. I don't want any up on top of the hook gap. Lock that in place. And do check that that's clean. I think it makes a difference, you know. I mean, I don't know if the fish really care, but it gives me a lot of confidence when I can, you know, like you can see the clear, like the belly of the bait fish, and then the back's distinct. I don't want it rolling over and being on the side. For the back, I'm going to, from the same area of an olive tail up the top, up the tip end, up the top, get a wee bunch. Now, and obviously you can tie these in all different colours, you know. You can tie them sort of natural colours like this. You can go bright, you know, chartreuse and white. I've got a friend that likes a bright pink fly. So just cleaning these, again, cleaning these hairs the same. And I'm just going to put that in. Just let them sort of fall. Then I'll just make sure they're the same length. Then come back. And that's the top. If you need to, you can manipulate it. Make sure the hook, the hairs are on the side of the hook that they're supposed to be as you go forward, or go backwards I should say. And then same again, I'll come in, I'll lift this up, cut it at an angle, so I've got a taper, and then I'll come down. And this is where you start to have a bit of sort of versatility, and you know, you can choose how you want the fly to be dressed. You're going to put the chenille in, and then after that, I mean, you can decide how thick you want the hackle collar to be. I mean, on a bigger fly, sometimes I use marabou. So I'm going to come in with some just head cement. I'm going to soak all this and get plenty on. Don't be shy with this. I want this to soak into this chenille when I wind it. I'm going to come in. I only want it to be like 2 wraps long, something like that, you know, and then just build a small ball. And this, I think this is one of the best things about the Whistler. It doesn't look to our eye necessarily as, just put a bit more cement in there, as realistic as some the sort of more modern baitfish patterns, but it's got all these great triggers, right? The swimmy tail and this red chenille, right, which you don't always see. With the hackles covering it, it's kind of obscured. But then when you strip and the hackles come in, and then you pause and they open, and if there's a predator fish following it, it just looks like it's actually flashed like a pair of gills. So I'm going to put a couple of hackles on this. I'm just going to use olive. On a bigger one I might put white and then olive, but I'll just use olive on this size. And I like to be sure and get plenty of hackle in. Again, pushing a bit of water, creating that turbulence. And about the same size, so that's fine. I'm using these sort of soft hackle saddles. If you want something stiffer, by all means, but I think these are ideal for this. So, we'll come in, tie that off. Come in close, trim away the tip. I'm not going to fold it back or anything. And then I'm just going to wind this from the chenille forward. And you'll need, I mean, even in this wee one, you'll need two hackles. So this first one, I'm just sticking mostly with the finer barbs. Right, they've got a bit more stiffness in them. But the front hackle, I'll use up some that will go right into some of the more marabou-y feathers. Again, tying it in by the tip. This time, because I'm up at the front, I'll fold it back just to keep things neat more than anything else. I'll take that away. And then wind this, sweeping everything back each wrap. Going in and going forward. And as I said, I'm going to come in these sort of marabou-like fibres on the hackle. We've got a turn of them as well. Movement, swimminess. And sweep everything back. Try to snap that, but it's obviously very strong. So I'll trim it away. And then I'm going to take another series of X wraps through my bead chain, really locking them in place. Right, you've been right along the fly, you've been right along the whole shank, you've got a lot of grip. This second set of figure 8s or X wraps really consolidates the bead chain in place. A couple of whip finishes, and then I'll cement the thread wraps as well. So just moisten this, just the hackle. It just keeps it out of the way, right? And then we'll come in. Flood that. Flood this. You can give it a second coat if you want, but you don't really need to. So there you go, a jigged mini whistler. A deadly pattern. I mean, the whistlers are just great. I love whistlers. They catch so many different species, freshwater and saltwater, but you can scale them down. I nearly forgot I want to just come in and, now that I've kind of got the length of the tail, I just trim that flash a bit. And how much flash? I mean, you can make it flashier or less flashy, it's up to yourself. But well worth tying these, well worth having a few. So I hope that was useful, hope you enjoyed it. If you did, remember to give me a thumbs up below. We'll see you for another video. Tight lines guys, bye.